Denmark, the happiest country in the world. Emil Lavsen from Denmark, a messenger of happiness, and his wife, Seo Yu-min. What is the secret of happiness according to this couple? The Hygge life of Denmark has drawn the global spotlight recently. Emil and Yu-min live the Hygge life in Korea. A happy life is not that complicated, says this couple. They are together 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Each day brings them happiness. Today on Heart to Heart, Emil Lavsen from Denmark and his wife Seo Yu-min share their secret to happiness. Hello and welcome to Heart. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Would you please say hello to our viewers that are watching?
Okay, so hello, I'm Emil from Denmark, and I'm very glad to be able to talk about Hygge today.
Hello, I'm Yu-min from South Korea, and it's very exciting to be here.
All right, once again, thank you so much. It's a pleasure to have you joining us on our show.
Thank you.
So you are a lovely couple, very lovey-dovey couple. And I mean, you began by mentioning a word, a keyword or buzzword. It was actually chosen as one of the words of the year 2016, Hygge.
Hygge, yes.
Hygge.
Oh, very good.
It's a very difficult word to pronounce.
Yes.
Could you maybe tell us about what Hygge actually means?
So Hygge is a word from Denmark. It's originated from Norway a very long time ago, but it's a Danish word that means being together, love, have a good time, and just enjoying each other's company to the fullest.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yes.
Because I've been hearing a lot about living a Hygge life, so it was kind of difficult for me to really truly understand the meaning of what Hygge actually was.
Yes.
Now, we all know that warm and coziness has to do something with Hygge, but what would you say is the essence of Hygge or Hygge life?
I think it's all about being present. Yeah, like here and now. You really focus on here and now, and the people you are together with right now. So
I think that's for me, Hygge. Hygge is, what we always present as Hygge is not something that you have to go out and buy. You can actually live it. Just by doing certain things, you can actually experience it in your daily life.
Now, you've mentioned something about not necessarily having to buy something, but living it. Now, I know that there's much interest in like Hygge life in Korea, and could you maybe tell us about the biggest difference between the way Koreans think of Hygge and the way the Danish people do? People in Denmark live?
I think I should go first as a Dane. I think we live Hygge on a daily basis. We don't really see it as a thing that we have to do, or it's not a thing. It's just a way of living life. So where I'm from, we try to, a good example would be just to have a good time with your family. So we would eat together for between 6 and 7 p.m. We would just be together as one family. That's a good example of what Hygge is all about.
Okay, and do you mean?
actually for me, I'm Korean, and for me it was very new to get, adapt to Hygge. So actually I learned from, experiencing real Hygge in Denmark. So actually doing things together, that really means a lot. For example, like cooking.
Yes.
You need to cook at least 2 to 3 times a day, but it's not something you have to do every day, but it can be a fun thing because you do it together with your family and your wife or your husband, together.
Exactly.
So it becomes like a chance to get to know each other and just enjoy the moment.
So I guess everything you can do together, as you do things together, you kind of create a stronger bond with one another.
Yes, but also Hygge does not have to be with other people. It can also be alone. You can be sitting on your couch, it's raining outside, you have a warm blanket, you watch your favorite movie, and you drink a cup of coffee while you just feel warm and happy. That's Hygge too.
Okay, now I think I know what Hygge means. I'll probably understand understand much more about what
Yes.
Hookah is as we speak. Now, the World Happiness Report ranks 156 countries based on their happiness levels. And their 2016 report found Denmark at the top spot, at number one. The US ranked 13th, and Korea came in at 58th. Do you have anything to say about this? Why do you think that Koreans aren't as happy as people in Denmark or in many other countries?
I mean, I love Korean people, and my husband, he loves Korean people more than I do. But I think Korea, because it's so competitive, to survive in Korea.
Yes.
So automatically, you just learn, how to compare yourself to other people.
Yeah.
So based on that, I think people don't have, this mindset that it's okay to be just the way I am.
Yeah, I think I
that's
understand, yeah.
Yes, and also if I may add that at work, for example, Danish people are the happiest people to work. When they work, they feel like they have value.
Yes.
So they feel like they're changing the society by going to work.
I see.
And I think that's a true essence of happiness is feeling value in life. So for me, when I worked in Denmark at a nursing house, I felt like I was doing something that really changed the society. And it gave me this joy, and I would go home feeling like, I've done something today. Yes.
I've done something to help someone, I've accomplished something,
Yes.
It was a great day, let's appreciate the day.
And that brings happiness, I feel.
How long are the work hours?
36
Denmark?
hours a
Yes,
week?
38 hours is
38
is the maximum. So you would start around 7 or 8, and you will leave around between 1 and 3.
Wow.
Yeah.
No wonder. Compared to, because Koreans, we work many, many long hours. So
Yes.
that's true. But I guess it depends on your mindset as well.
It can have something to do with it. I just feel like happiness is really about choosing to be happy and then trying to find the things that are not making us happy. And I feel Denmark has become very focused on this subject of happiness. That is almost, for some of us, we can feel a little pressured to you must be happy.
Are you happy?
And yes, because there's so much focus on happiness.
Right. Well, I understand that you do a lot of volunteer work. That is, of course, to be happy yourselves and to help others be happy as well. You help married couples with their problems, and I'm sure you do a lot of other types of volunteer work. Can you tell us about what you do?
Yeah, actually, we are married, 5 years almost. Tomorrow is our 5th anniversary. Thank you. And actually, many people said, because you are newlyweds, But as time went by, we realized that marriage is really amazing, that it just, can just get better and better and better. Yeah, the happiness you experience from your newlyweds period. And the happiness we are experiencing right now, those two are uncomparable. Yeah, I think marriage, it should be, like that.
Yes.
So that's why we try to tell people about, the real happy marriage is all about. So we teach them and we help them. And actually, our main focus is to teach young people, who are not in a relationship yet. So get them, prepare.
I see.
Yeah, for a happy marriage.
Yes.
So you must have a lot of advice to give people.
Yes.
Because we really want everyone to be happy.
I see.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, married couples fight all the time. No matter how loving you are, how much of a, I guess, sweet couple you are. I mean, all couples fight.
Yes.
Don't
Yes.
tell me you don't fight.
I mean,
We don't fight.
We have arguments. We have things we don't agree about. But for us, happiness really has become about realizing how much you love each other. So, for example, for tomorrow we can look back at the last 5 years and just be really happy for how exciting it has been, and then really finding and looking back at that happiness. And I feel like then it becomes more important. The happiness becomes more important than the hard times you had together. But the hard times, of course, we go through hard stuff in life. But happiness has become such a big part of our life that it's impossible not to be happy.
Yeah.
Yes.
I guess we should all learn to focus on the good things and the happy moments, right?
Yes.
And stop thinking about, I don't know, the difficulties and the hardships you have.
Yes.
We don't have enough time for that, right? All right, then let's hear from Yu-min and Emil about how starting to live a Hygge life actually is. So let's take a look and then we'll continue with our conversation.
Okay, so today we're here just to briefly introduce to you what Hygge is all about. I have this amazing experience where I'm opening the door, I see my wife sitting at the table and I say, "Honey, I'm home. How are you?" And you always smile and you look at me with these eyes of joy.
And I give you a hug. Big hug.
Because that is the true essence of Hygge, where you are present in the moment, you feel happy, you feel joyful, you feel excited to be in this moment. And Yu-min always said something to me whenever we were being present in the moment, because it meant a lot to her.
Yes, I really feel loved. Actually, when he looks me into my eyes and he says, like, "I love you," or "How was your day?" And I really feel loved. Actually, that moment, I would call a Hygge moment.
That is the true essence of Hygge, where you are just feeling happy for what you have. You don't need anything else. You just need your wife that is looking at you with this beautiful smile and just feels so happy. And I feel happy myself. I'm a man of many things that are going on. But when I'm present in that moment, when I'm with my wife and she smiles and she's happy, that's where I really feel Hygge. So how do we actually experience Hygge in our daily life?
And actually, if you are a single, still you can experience Hygge, because you can have a very good time, like reading books or cooking and doing things you like, and you just enjoy the moment. So Hygge is not something you have to have something and you have to do something.
No, because I always say to my wife, actually, you don't need to wear high heels. You don't need to do all these things just to make me happy. I just love the fact that you are 163 and I'm almost 2 meters.
197.
197, that doesn't matter. And that is, again, where you feel exactly happy just for what you have and what you have in this moment. In the end, I would just like to share a small story from my life where I remember my father being a very busy guy. He would come home around 4 p.m. We would go out and we would do shopping. We'd come home, prepare food together, and from 6 to 7, we would be together. That is what Hygge is, the true essence of what Hygge is about and what we are practicing now. Hygge is not difficult. Hygge is something that all of us can experience in our daily life.
Yes, Hygge is not expensive. We don't need to spend so much money to enjoy Hygge life.
It's fun, it's exciting, it's something that brings joy, safety, and peace into your life and into your marriage and friendships and whatever. And in the end, we would just like to say, are you ready to live a life of Hygge? We hope so, and thank you very much for today. Bye.
Bye.
I'd like to know how you two met. I heard that you met in school.
Yeah.
How did it happen?
So I was studying, and Yu-min was the most popular girl at the whole school.
I see.
All the boys, they loved her. And I had a secret crush on her for a long time. And I actually think we hung out for around 2 years.
Just friends.
Yeah, but would you tell them why? What did you think about me at that time?
Actually, he was not my style at all.
Okay.
And I never actually thought, getting married to a foreigner.
Yu-min knew, of course, that I was interested in her, but I got sick. I had some issues, a tumor in my throat that I had to get removed, and also some visa. I needed a new visa, so I had to go home. And suddenly I get an email from Yu-min, and I knew something was up. So I called her, and I came back to Korea after my, things have, and we came back, and we talked, and it just developed from there. But it's I think it was all about a process that we were moving into, both of us realizing how much we needed each other. Yes.
I see. So when Emil went back home to Denmark, did you miss him a lot? Is that when you realized that he was the one for you?
Not really.
No?
Actually, the reason I emailed him was very weird because I was not interested in him at all. But suddenly I woke up, and then in the morning I was overwhelmed by this feeling that if I don't email him right now, somebody will take him away from me.
Oh.
So I was like, oh. So I was like, hi, Emil, how are you? And that was all.
All right, but here you are.
Yeah.
Especially because of that email you sent.
Yes.
Yes.
But I want to tell you a funny story. This is just when I proposed to her, I was supposed to propose 2 days later, but it was so romantic, and I got so caught up by romance. So I ran downstairs and I picked up my ring, and I ran upstairs and I fell down on my knees, and it was snowing. And I said, "Would you marry me?"
No, you said, please marry me.
Yes.
It's not would you, it's please marry me.
I was like, please marry me.
Yes.
What was so romantic about that day or that evening?
You
that
just
you couldn't
feel
wait
it,
2 more days.
It was so beautiful, music, and it was so romantic, and I had to propose on that day.
That was a very personal moment.
I
and,
see.
it was very romantic, actually.
Yes.
So when he proposed to me, I couldn't just say yes right away because I started to cry.
Oh,
Yes.
that's sweet.
And that's 5 years ago.
And-
5 years
Well, it
ago.
was very cold, so he's like, oh.
Yes.
So
So that was a funny
yeah.
story.
The two people of different nationalities speaking different languages started a family. Even though they grew up in completely different cultures, nothing could stop their feelings for each other. Emil Lavsen and his wife Seo Yu-min hope that many other married couples will live happily like them.
So has life changed for you after you got married? Because, of course, I'm sure, as you mentioned, you did not know about Hygge
Yeah.
before you got married.
Yeah.
You had the
Definitely.
opportunity to live in Denmark for about a year.
Yeah.
How has things changed? How have things changed for you since marriage?
I grew up in Korea, studying really, really, really hard. Always in my head, like, oh, I have to do this, I have to do this. And even I didn't have enough time to eat properly, when I was studying in high school, like other Korean students.
Yes.
So after I got married, still when I was eating, I was eating so fast, like, and then thinking like, oh, I have to do this and this and this and this. But Emil really helped me, like, oh, honey, it's okay. Just enjoy the moment, it's okay. So really, Emil really helped me in many ways. So now I can actually really enjoy the moment and not really, in a hurry.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
so-
do you actually feel that your wife has changed?
I feel like Yu-min has learned to be more present.
Yeah.
Yes, not always having to do things in order to be happy, but just allow yourself to sit down and be together. I think really that brings the essence of what we are trying to live out in real life.
Yes.
You know, one thing is to talk about it, but another thing is to live it.
Yeah.
That's the real, you know, important thing.
So when we go on a date, actually we just turn off our phones and we just only focus on each other.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so we practiced that, and then now actually we can just have quality time anytime, like in the morning, and whenever we are together, we can just have a real quality time together.
It's wonderful how you shut your phones off when you have a date.
Thank you.
Yeah, very sweet. Is there a special way of communicating with each other?
So we have a very good way where we sit down, we look each other into the eyes, and then we try to talk of the actual issue that we have gone through.
Yeah.
So instead of allowing certain feelings to arise and just scream at each other, we sit down and look and just really try to get to the root of the issue that we are facing, and then try to find a solution together.
I see.
Yeah. Actually, he never has raised his voice or never yelled at me.
Have you?
Yeah. Confession. Yeah, but really Emil helped me. So I can actually tell people, I can say that it's possible. Even Korean people can change.
Yeah, because some people have a very bad temper, but of course they can change, right?
But you can actually learn it. You can learn the fascinating things about talking and communicating is that there are tools on how to learn to communicate better, what not to say, what to say, how to bring your emotions out in a proper and healthy way, and so on, and how the receiver would feel. So those are things that I like to study and that Yu-min is also studying right now.
It's not easy though.
No.
Yeah, it's not
It takes
easy.
practice again.
It does take practice.
But it's
I think.
possible.
Right,
But
but it's
actually,
possible.
you don't need to be perfect right now. But actually, as a spouse, as a wife, to see his weakness is getting stronger.
Yes.
It's really amazing.
여러분들 하이힐. 제가 지금 어떤 신발 신고 나왔죠? 굉장히 자유하게. 네. 근데 솔직히 신어도 별로 효과가 없어요. 한 30cm 통급 신어야. 근데 저희 신랑은 그 키가 딱 맞다고 생각해요. 왜냐면 딱 쓰면요, 저희 신랑의 심장 소리가 들려요. 저를 위해 만든. 그리고 제 다리에 이제 근육을 보면서 저희 신랑이
근육 너무 예뻐요.
원래는 섹시하다고 말하려고 그랬는데. 그리고 또 이제 제 주근깨를 보면서 뭐라고 얘기하냐면 되게 귀엽다라고. 근데 놀라운 것은 제가 살면서 정말로 제 몸에 대해서 이렇게 아름답지 않고 좀 안 좋다라고 생각했던, 싫어했던 그런 부분들이었는데 이거에 대해서 이렇게 얘기를 해주니까 저도 제 자신에 대해서 이제 가치를 다르게 이제 발견을 하게 되는 거예요.
We're down to our very last question. I'd like to ask you what happiness means to you. It may sound like a very simple question, but what does happiness mean to you?
I think for me, happiness is, again, very much related to marriage because, you know, we are married, we are together every day. Is to feel happy for where I'm at. Yes, and to be really happy for every day that I get to live in this world, and to be with my best friend that I share the common interests with, I share my joys and the ups and downs with, and I just generally to put it into one word, just feeling content. Yeah, content. That's happiness for me.
And for you, Amy?
I think happiness is all about feeling thankful for what you have and what you have done. And it has to be something that you can actually experience with everyone. While other people are sad, you're happy. Because you have this, you're happy. Because other people don't have that. I don't call it happiness. That's why we are, really working hard to tell people, how to have a happy marriage.
And Emil is looking at you with. Is there anything that you would like to add before we say goodbye to our viewers that are watching right now?
Yeah, I think for me, the last word I would like to say is that when you realize that life is not just about me, but when you realize that actually true joy is to love people around you, I feel like that brings purpose into your life. And then you suddenly start to feel these glimpses of happiness here and there. So it's actually not too hard to find happiness, just by trying step by step. And I feel like happiness can come alive.
Well, thank you so much. That is exactly what I will try to do from today, right after our show. Give happiness much thought and really just try it little by little to be a happier person. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Thank you for sharing your very sweet stories and telling us all about how to live a happier life and for sharing the recipe to living a happier Hygge life. Thank you so much once again.
Thank you so much.
감사합니다.